Hi there, fellow WrestleManiacs. This is Datila, and I'm joined by Josh.
What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? What a day, what a day, what a day we have had today in the WWE universe, really the wrestling universe as a whole.
Yeah, definitely some huge news broke today, and I know we've been away for a while. It's been what since Survivor Series, so we haven't done anything, but we're back. WrestleManiacs are back.
That's right. That's right. It's been around that. And then let's just call this a late Christmas present to what we've gotten today. I mean, again, I'm shocked. I'm still blown away by the news today. And so we're going to get into that here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's kick things off talking about the biggest news that dropped today. From Deadline, Netflix gets in the ring, locking up WWE's Monday Night War. I mean, Monday Night Raw botch in 10-year, 5 billion plus year for longtime TV staples. That's the name of the article. So it says starting in January 2025, Netflix will now be the exclusive home of Raw in the US, Canada, UK, and Latin America. Additional territories from Netflix footprint of more than 190 are to be added over time. USA Network has aired the Raw franchise and launched it in January 1993. So this is interesting because I don't know if you know this, but the WWE Network does still exist outside of the US. So this basically means that they're getting rid of the WWE Network entirely.
Right.
So, do you have Netflix?
I do. I've had Netflix probably. Look, I've had Netflix since before they were even an app. I had them way back when they were sending DVDs in the mail. Okay, so that shows my age now. But yeah,
Yeah, that does
I've
show
had
your
Netflix
age.
for a long time. Yeah, no, I mean it's crazy because I mean, as you said, the WWE Network has existed really outside of the US, and I mean, you look at all the different deals they make with the television. For I can't think of the names right now, but let's say Star Television in China or the ABC network in, Africa, whatever. Now with Netflix, this is going to allow them to be on one app across the board. And again, eventually throughout the whole entire world.
Yeah, and see, I've been with Netflix since they were like $8, so I'm also showing my age.
Right.
This honestly for me is an incentive to keep my Netflix and to use it more because I don't use my Netflix. I the last time I used my Netflix really was just to watch Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. And that's the whole reason why I kept Netflix because all the Power Rangers seasons were on there. But then they took them off. I think only Mighty Morphin, Beast Morphers, and Dino Fury slash Cosmic Fury are on there. So, but this gives me an incentive to keep it.
Look,
Definitely.
I mean, look, at least you got a cooler reason to keep it. I mean, my wife and I, we have our guilty pleasure of Love is Blind, all those like dating shows. So, I mean, at least you've got a cool reason to keep it. We keep it for that. And maybe, like, I don't know, some of her old shows she likes. But yeah, it's definitely going to really, I think it's going to make it to where you have to have Netflix now. Because, I mean, I look at it from our standpoint of we keep YouTube TV because we have Raw and we have SmackDown and all that sort of stuff. And now this makes it to where we have to have Netflix because if we want to watch Raw, you have no choice. You have to.
Yeah, exactly. Because where are you going to watch Raw if it's not on Netflix?
Uncooked and uncensored. Now that's going to be the big issue is are they going to not bleep out the holy chance? Are they going to, make it to where we're going to have a little bit more attitude? Because Netflix now, besides saying a disclaimer saying, hey, you might see some, content here or there, now they have there's no chains on them. There's no censors at this point. They can do what they want to now.
So here's another interesting tidbit. So this is from Variety's Netflix surgery strike deal to move Monday Night Raw to streamer beginning in 2025 for 500 million per year. So that's the name of the article. So this is from this article. It says WWE's current deal with NBC Universal has Raw airing on USA Network until October 2024. So that's interesting because it begs the
Hmm.
question: if this Netflix deal starts in January and that deal ends in October, where the hell is Monday Night Raw gonna air? How are we gonna watch Monday Night Raw?
That's a good point. I mean, I don't know. That's a really good point. I did not that's something I just now learned as you told me. I did not know that their deal was up to over unless they have like maybe I don't know. That's a good question. I mean,
Maybe
surely they
Peacock? Peacock or something?
I mean, yeah, that could be, but again, I don't know. I mean, again, you think they would announce that by now, but I guess they don't want to confuse people, which makes total sense. But Wow, I did not know it went to October. I thought it was going to be until, the last Raw of December of 2024 this year.
They could do the TNA Impact route and put it on YouTube,
They could do that.
but I don't see them making a membership fee for like 2 months and then going over to Netflix. If they put it on YouTube, I feel like it would be free for a few months before moving over to Netflix.
Right. I mean, that may be an extension. I mean, I mean, unless they, because they're off of Fox, unless they say Raw's on the CW, maybe. But then again, that's the only other thing I can think of.
So the article goes on to, this is still the Variety article.
Mhm.
It says, according to an individual with knowledge of the situation, exactly where Raw will air between the end of that deal and the beginning of the Netflix deal is still being determined. So they're still they're still working out the kinks. They have a whole 9 months to figure it out.
It's interesting it's in October, and again, this is probably just so nerdy of a stat, I shouldn't even really care about this, but I remember when they went to TNN, Spike TV, and then they had their Raw Homecoming, and it was in October of 2005. So it's just so funny that I guess their deal has always been from October to October, I guess. So that's interesting to think of now. And then it's been, gosh, almost 20 years ago since they were there. I mean, since they came back to USA Network. So it's going to be an interesting year. I mean, with all the other news today, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest news, I think, story break besides Vince retiring and WWE being sold. I mean, who would have thought 2 years ago that we would have had this?
Nope. I don't know. So it's interesting. I wonder how this is gonna play out for Netflix. Like for instance, I know with Peacock, if you have the ad free, they pay the vignette, like a little vignette, and then if you don't have the ad fee, you get commercials. So I wonder how this is
Mhm.
gonna play if you have the commercial free Netflix and the non-commercial Netflix.
Well, I looked a little earlier because everybody was asking, like, what are they going to do during commercials? And I think they said they're going to base the matches around the commercials and ads so that if you have, let's say, the paid tier, you're going to see somebody sitting in a headlock, kind of like we do picture in picture. But for us, maybe my understanding of reading it is that we would probably see that long resting headlock, whereas somebody on the free ad tier would probably see an ad. So there's not going to be anything that they're going to miss. It's just going to be something that, like picture in picture, I would think.
Okay, I hope it's like picture in picture or something because I'm not just gonna play. I have the ad free Netflix, so
Right. Me
I'm
too.
very curious to see how this works. All right, that's not the only news that broke today. No. Also from Variety, Dwayne Johnson, a board member of WWE's parent TKO Group, granted full ownership of the Rock trademark. So that is huge.
Huge. I don't know if anybody that I can think of that they willingly gave that moniker to. I mean, granted, yes, Hulk Hogan has his name, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, in terms of just full on, we're gifting this to you, basically, probably to join the board of directors. I mean, because that's huge. It's huge. Now the man's got his hand in football, in movies, now UFC and wrestling. He pretty much has it all. I mean, what's next, president? I mean, the man can do no wrong at this point, seemingly.
So some tidbits here from the article say that Doty added that it has also entered into a service and merchandising agreement with Johnson. Under that agreement, Johnson will provide promotional, licensing, and other services to the company. Johnson also gains the ownership of the trademark name The Rock as part of the intellectual agreement assignment. And this is per the SEC filing for the announcement. Johnson will also receive just over $30 million in TKO stock.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
mean,
that's huge too.
this is the second. I mean, if we really want to think about it, I mean, besides Triple H, he is probably the only other one that, I mean, really, I would dare say supersedes Triple H's position now. If you really think about it, The Rock is technically over Triple H's position. I mean, that's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, again, granted, we can joke about they had a feud, whatever, but I mean, it's just if you think about it, I mean, I would have bet my bottom dollar that, I would have thought Steve Austin would have had a piece of TKO. The Rock, I mean, I'm not surprised, but I don't know. It's just so strange that he went from buying the XFL from Vince and now joining the board of directors. I mean, and gets his whole entire name to use. I mean, I kind of wonder again. There's got to be more to the story than him just owning the Rock name. It's got to be merchandising, but I wonder if he's going to start going by that name again because everybody knows him as Dwayne Johnson, but there's nothing more iconic than the Rock name.
That's true. That's very true. So I wonder if this is this is to set in stone like a match with Roman Reigns.
I think there was an article from him, an interview saying that them two would tear the house down if they had a WrestleMania match. But I mean, there's always the argument: are they going to do it there? Or are they going to do it in Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia gives so much money? I mean, look, there was a rumor a couple of years ago that the king of I think it was the king or whatever of Saudi Arabia wanted like 90s WWF stars like Yokozuna, and that's why they that one time randomly brought in a sumo wrestler because he was a Yokozuna. But it stops Cody's story at the same time. I mean, there's the whole thing. Will the title be on the line? Will it be I'm going to say it wrong, and you probably know the name of it, the Ula Fala, the whatever it's called, the necklace thing, right? I wonder if they could have something. Yeah. I don't know. I just poor Cody. He's got CM Punk showing up, and then he's got The Rock showing up, and then we joked about Hulk Hogan having one more in him in the Rumble. I mean, poor man just can't finish.
Don't put that evil out there, Ricky Bobby.
I'm just saying, you never know, right? You never know.
I personally think that the Roman versus The Rock does not need the title, so that can happen after WrestleMania if it doesn't happen at WrestleMania, or it can happen at the Elimination Chamber.
So here's the next question then. So say we get Cody and Roman night 1. Do we end night 2 with Rock and Roman, or do we end it with the title? Because, there's the question of the title always usually goes on last. But then I think, if I remember correctly, I think Cena and Rock from which one? Oh gosh, which one was it? 28? It was 28. I think they ended the WrestleMania, I think, right as the main event. Am I right? Or am I wrong there? I don't remember now. It's been so long.
I was gonna say CM Punk did not come back to WWE to not main event WrestleMania. He's main eventing WrestleMania night 1.
Right. Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a main event. I just wonder if they can get away with the idea of Cody winning at the end of night 1, and then they move Seth and Punk to night 2 is maybe who. I mean, again, I cannot imagine Punk agreeing to be the first match on WrestleMania night 2. No. But I mean, again, the Rock and Roman's a pretty big match. But again, what do you do? Because, how do you follow Roman and Rock in any position? That's going to be hard. It's like following Rock and Hogan at 18. It's going to be a hard thing to do.
And we'll talk more about that during the Royal Rumble predictions.
Yes, we will.
All right, you got any last?
You got my mind gears going now, so.
Your gears are going. Save that for predictions, because the road to WrestleMania officially starts on Saturday. But you got any last comments you want to say about any of the news that broke?
The best way I can say is, there was always a saying of, never say never in the WWF way back when, and this has probably been I thought 2023 was unpredictable. 2024 blows it out of the water. Within not even a month into this new year, we have got 2 giant things. I thought Punk coming back was the biggest news. It just keeps building. Think about it. Vince retires. WWE gets sold. Punk comes back. And now we've got WWE Raw on Netflix. And now we've got The Rock owning The Rock's name. I mean, what a roller coaster. This is going to be a tide shifting. They always talk about the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. This TKO era has been big news after big news just to start with. So, no, yeah. I can't wait to see where we are in December 31st, 2024, how we're looking.
Oh, yeah, same here. Definitely. I cannot wait. All right, Josh, where can people find you?
Again, I'm just on Twitter, X, again, at Gamer Porosky. That's pretty much it. I mean, Facebook, if you want to find me, I'm pretty easy. For easy last name to remember, I'm only Josh Porosky on there. I'm kind of like Tigger. I'm the only one at this point. So, Definitely, you can just find me on Facebook or Twitter or X, whatever it's called now.
I can't believe you just compared yourself to Tigger.
I am the only one. You can't find another Josh Perowski on Facebook, hacked or otherwise. So,
As for myself, you can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Datila_. I live feature in Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage, and TNA Impact. I live stream during Raw. I cover Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, TNA Impact, and Friday Night SmackDown. We will see you guys, I think Friday, right?
Friday, yes.
Friday
You will
for
see us
our
Friday
Royal
for
Rumble predictions.
Rumble predictions.
And then you guys can check out our review. Probably Sunday?
Yeah, probably so.
Sunday, our Royal Rumble review. But as for Matt, you can check out my review Saturday right after Royal Rumble.
There
We
you
will
go.
see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.